Okay, so I have a big problem with YouTube right now, and I think YouTube has a big problem with me and its own creators. See, that word create is what makes this space for every one of us. We are able to create, we are able to be creative, and the creators are what make YouTube what it is. Now, that doesn't seem to be the case, or at least it may not be moving forward based on new policies regarding ad-friendly content that YouTube just kind of slid in a couple of days ago. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain. So I run a YouTube boxing channel called the W.A.D.E Concept where I break down influencer boxing. And yesterday I put out a video between Dylan Dennis and KSI. The fight might be canceled. There's some things going on behind the scenes there, but none of that really matters because the video went out. Everything was fine. Great monetization, good video, swell title and thumbnail. I was killing it. But then I go to bed and I wake up to an advertiser-friendly restriction on my YouTube. In other words, something in my YouTube was not able to be monetized because it was not advertiser-friendly. And I thought to myself, well, what could that be? Did I show any bodily harm? Did I break community guidelines? Did I show any copyrighted content? No, none of those things. You know what I did? The bad thing that I did, I said some naughty words. And not just that I said some naughty words, I said them at a particular point in the video that got my entire video demonetized. And YouTube didn't say anything directly to me about what those words were or where they were. They just referred me to a review system that is still going on, and I don't even know if a human actually does. So I had to figure it out for myself. And watching some other creators over the last couple of days, like Moist Critical, some ordinary gamers that have kind of covered this subject, it seems as though the profanity policy in YouTube is not only getting worse in as far as stifling creativity and censoring language to just say exactly what YouTube wants you to say in videos and never have an original thought or show emotion or speak in a way that a 7-year-old wouldn't. It seems like they are completely eliminating profanity from your videos, which quite frankly is a little concerning because, again, it is a muzzle on creators and allows us to just do what we're told or else, and I'm not a big fan of it. If you don't believe me, we could look at the content policies that were, again, put in place without really any update to their creators or any kind of announcement to tell us so. But it's still a little confusing because it does say that content that can still earn ad revenue are words like shit, bitch, the F word, outside of the first 15 seconds of the video. So I guess we'll see, since it's been a little more than 15 seconds, how this video does. But also, we have some content that may earn limited or no ad revenue. Profanity used within the first 8 to 15 seconds. And content that will earn 0 revenue is the following: profanity used in the first 7 seconds or majority of the videos, profanities used in thumbnails and titles. And again, this is a content policy that is ever changing, and I understand that. And you might even say, Wade, can't you just not curse? Is it that hard to not say the F word or not say a curse word? No, it's not hard to, but it also stifles who I am. It also stifles the way I talk, the way I show emphasis on a statement, or the jokes made in a video that come off the cuff and that you guys tend to like so much come from the creative mind that is what happens up here. And those are littered with profane words because I'm an adult. I'm not a child. And YouTube treating us like one is my biggest problem. And that brings me to my next point. The communication at YouTube is flawed at best and god-awful at worst. If I have a problem as a creator and I go to YouTube with said problem, or they come to me with one, and I'm trying to rectify that problem and make the situation better, there is no person that I can speak to. And I understand that there's so many users on the platform and only a certain amount of people, but if you're going to hand out AdSense restrictions without actually looking at the video, or if you're going to have a bot do it just for us, the creator, to lose revenue or lose time and really have to go back and fix everything ourselves without really knowing what we're fixing, it's kind of a shot in the dark to hope that we're doing the right things. You would think there'd be a human review process that also helps this, and they say they do it, but every time I try to reach out, even through, again, the message board that creators can use on their studio, it seems like I get the same answer. We'll contact you in 24 to 36 hours. And by that point, the 24 to 36 hours, my video's already been out. Majority of people have already seen it. And with an ad restriction on it, I'm earning probably $1 for that video, which, again, I don't want this to sound like it's a big money grab for me. I am trying to make a living doing this, but It just is the lack of promptness, the lack of communication within that time where I could possibly change the video or have an actual human review this and say, well, it did break our policy and this is why, or it didn't break our policy. We're sorry. Let's correct that by not having this happen again. And even with all that said, it doesn't really make me as mad that YouTube is implementing these things as much as they're not telling us why they're implementing them or what the cost is going to be to us, the creator, that they are implementing it. Without a standardized practice of alert that policies are changing, they just kind of happen and they apply currently. And as some channels I'm seeing on Twitter right now are saying, retroactively, meaning you could have broken the rules that weren't even in place yet, and your channel will now suffer through demonetization of all the videos that broke the rules retroactively. That's not right to me, and I don't understand how it's never addressed by this billion-dollar company that should have policies and people in place to better explain these things. But my biggest issue with the entire thing is the fact that YouTube is changing always, but it seems like it's always changing for the detriment of its creator and the benefit of its own pocket. Essentially pushing its creators toward a more ad-friendly experience, I assume, is for the reason of making content consumable by all, including kids. But YouTube Kids already has its own problems. And in fact, if YouTube was so concerned with the way I was speaking, saying words like shit or fuck or bitch or asshole, but are allowing questionable ads to be placed on my videos like these, for YouTube, I don't guess that matters, because if it doesn't make a lot of practical sense, who cares as long as it makes a lot of dollars and cents? I have to pay for that by giving up all of my ad revenue, and YouTube gets to vaguely tell me I did something wrong without explaining what exactly that was. And also, there's no way to really correct it except doing exactly what YouTube wants until they change those policies once again under the veil of darkness without really speaking to their creators about what they're doing, so that we trip over ourselves continuously with no end in sight, till we're all carbon copy creators with no voice of our own and no originality and no creativity, made for the lowest common denominator, so everyone that just puts eyes on a screen and clicks the YouTube app can sit back and be bored out of their mind with content they don't enjoy. That's my rant, and I know that I've broken probably 20 ad-friendly content guidelines in this video, so I don't expect to earn any revenue off of it, but I don't really give a shit, so fuck off, YouTube.